In this video, we take you through the TransLution standard template for manufacturing. We have functions to issue raw materials to a job, receive the finished goods off the production line, label them, and transfer them to the warehouse. We also have a function available to return unused stock back to the bins and a negative job receipt to fix up any over receipts done during the manufacturing process. We begin by selecting the TransLution app and logging in with our credentials. Here we see the workflows we have access to. Select the manufacturing workflow. This brings up a list of the functions available for manufacturing. Let's take a look at the job details grid. This is a general grid that shows you all the open jobs in SysPro. If we select a job, we can then see all the stock that is required for the job. We can then use the print button here to print a report showing all the stock required for the job. The document will have a barcode for the job number, the stock code, a barcode for the item and quantity required. The document, together with the query function, can be used to pick stock for the job. This grid can be shown on either EasyTouch or Android. This is what the same grid looks like on EasyTouch. EasyTouch may work better for you when you have many jobs or jobs with many material lines to issue. Once we have printed the pick slip, we can then use the specific issue function to issue raw materials to the job. TransLution validates against the bill of materials in SysPro to make sure you only issue stock that is required on the job. The first step is to scan or enter the job number. TransLution validates the job exists in SysPro and is available for use. Then we scan or enter the bin. The suggestion displays the job number. Note that most steps have a suggestion, so it's a good idea to keep an eye here. TransLution validates the bin barcode is unique and that the bin exists in SysPro. Next, we scan or enter the item number. If we scan an item that doesn't belong on the job, we get this error, as TransLution validates the stock code exists in SysPro and is required on the job. Now let's scan the correct item. TransLution validates the stock code is required on the job and not fully issued. If the item is lot traceable, TransLution gets the lot details and validates that the lot number exists in SysPro for the stock code. Next, we enter the quantity to issue. TransLution validates the quantity entered is numeric and greater than 0. It validates there is sufficient quantity of the lot in the bin, the lot has not expired, and the quantity does not exceed the quantity left to issue on the job. TransLution does a live post to update SysPro. We are then looped back to the scan bin step to continue scanning or exit the function. As stock comes off the production line, we use the job receipt function to receipt the finished goods and do a labor issue for the job. Labels are then printed for the stock, and the stock can then be transferred to the warehouse. For a job receipt, the first step is to scan or enter the job number. TransLution validates the job exists in SysPro and is available. Next, we scan or enter the bin. TransLution validates the bin barcode is unique and the bin exists in SysPro. It also validates the bin scanned is in the warehouse on the job. Next, we enter the lot number. If the lot exists for the stock code and has an expiry date, we are then prompted to the quantity step. If the expiry date does not exist, the next step will allow you to enter the lot expiry date. We then enter the quantity to receipt. TransLution validates the quantity entered is numeric and greater than 0. The last step is to enter the number of labels to print. TransLution validates the quantity entered is an integer greater than equal to 0 and less than 100. TransLution does a live post to SysPro for the labor component and the job receipt. By default, TransLution completes the job once it is fully receipted. TransLution also has a negative issue function. Sometimes when you're issuing bulk materials to a job, we issue extra stock for damages or scrap. Once the production is complete, we use the negative issue function to return all the unused stock back to the bins. As I run through the process here, you will notice that the scanning process is exactly the same for the negative issue as it is for the specific issue. Remember, you do not need to enter the negative sign on the values. TransLution validates that the lot was issued to the job and that the quantity entered does not exceed the total quantity issued for the job. TransLution does a live post to update SysPro for the negative issue. If for some reason we have receipted too much on the job, we can use the negative job receipt function to reverse the incorrect job receipt and update SysPro so the job details are more accurate. Let's take a look at how to do a negative job receipt. This works exactly the same as the job receipt, except that we are reversing the job receipt in the background. Remember here too, not to enter a negative value. Enter the amount as is, and TransLution will process an adjustment to update SysPro. TransLution validates the lot number was receipted for the job and the quantity entered does not exceed the quantity receipted. TransLution does a live post to update SysPro. Thank you for your time. We hope this has been useful.